Greetings to all. I am Noureen Shafi of MP International School, studying in grade 8. Oh, isn't this exciting? I always used to dream of having such opportunities to come up in front of such a crowd and express my voice. And now I'm actually living the dream. Oh, this is such a magical moment for me. And as always, we are all humans. We have dreams too. Don't you have dreams? Of course you guys do. If you wouldn't had a dream to begin with, you wouldn't be here right now. Of course, dreams are what makes us want to live. And if you don't have a dream, what's the point in living? You can call yourself a disappointment, then you are a disappointment. If you call yourself a failure, then you are a failure. But if you have dreams, there's something you have to chase. That's a goal. That's a goal. That dreaming is like setting up a goal to attain. And of course, we all are humans. We have to have dreams. Without dreams, there's no point in living. That's just facts. No point in living. So, dream. When I was a kid, I used to lock myself in my bathroom. I used to sing, I used to dance, I used to talk to myself for hours, and then my mom will be like, "What are you doing in there? Open up." And then I was like, I wouldn't even care. I still used to talk to my imaginary people who is my audience. I will be like, "Hi, hey." And now, look where I am. This opportunity, it brought me up here. I feel so proud for trying all these years. I feel the happiest. Well, there is one question though. What is the purpose of our life? Yes, when I was first asked this question, I also didn't have a specific answer. I used to think day and night. I still couldn't find the answer. I thought I should give up. But then, as I went on trying to find the purpose of my life, I understood that trying, that's the purpose of my life, to find out what I was being here for. That was the purpose of my life. And then this sudden energy burst into me. Oh, well, now I'm going to do all it takes. I'm going to do all it takes, and I'm going to try hard. That's how I found the purpose of my life. There are many different answers from everyone. When someone asks you, what's the purpose of your life, what do you say? Yeah, you would say to serve my parents and to be a doctor, to be an engineer. Yes, those are the purpose. That's why you keep moving forward, and that's why you live. That's why you live. That's actually the purpose. Well, the purpose of our lives, some might be like to serve the person I love, to be with the people I love, to serve them the best, what I can do. Sometimes that might be the answer to many. And yes, I agree. But, always trying hard, being pressured to try hard all the time, sometimes it makes our hopes down. Sometimes we do feel low. And it's all right to feel low, because life, it's all a zigzag. First, you will be so happy one day, and then suddenly, everything gone down the drain. And of course, you will feel so hopeless. You'll be like, oh no, what's the point in living? Yes, I don't blame you for thinking that way. It's quite natural, But you have to find other purpose in life. You have to find it. Even if the purpose of what you wanted to do is gone, you have to find, you have many things. There are many opportunities in this world. So please don't stop trying. Please don't. When I was in my childhood, I thought it was the most perfect childhood. I thought I lived the perfect life. Not to worry about studies, not to worry about anything about school. I used to go home, play, and then be happy all the time. At that time, I used to think to myself, Whoa, I'm so lucky. I wish that I would never grow up. I would never face this far. I would never grow up. But then, I grew up. All of a sudden, I grew up. And as I grew up, life started to change. At first, I thought my life was perfect. But then, I heard that my father, he got diagnosed with cancer. And unfortunately, we had to go to India, and then we settled at home. And then I used to see my father taking a lot of hospital trips, coming back, coming forth. And my life was looking at the hospital and then looking at my father, grieving about it. But then, and then I always used to, but I still had the hope. I hoped that my father, his cancer would definitely cure, and I had this hope, so I didn't stop trying. I didn't lose hope at that time. I still kept trying. I saw my father in the worst stages. He never used to utter a word about his problems. And of course, he wouldn't want us to worry. So we lived life like that for at least 3 years. And then one day, I was at my granny's house with my siblings, and of course my father's illness, it got worse and worse. He was admitted to the hospital, and my mom also stayed with him. And then one day, my aunties, they come rushing in, and all their eyes filled with tears. They were sobbing so hard, and they were hugging me, and I asked, "What's the issue? What's the problem?" And then their words, they were shattered all over. And then they finally comforted me. "Your father's illness have gotten worse." And you know what I said? I said that it's okay. My father is going to get well soon. But if I knew the actual reason for them crying there, I wouldn't have said that. I swear, I wouldn't have said that. I comforted them, and that hope, whoa, I feel so impressed of myself that I still had that hope in me, the littlest hope in me, when everything was shattered beside me. I still had the hope. And then we all, like me, my siblings, we all went to my father's house, and there everyone was crowded. I was like, why is everyone there? Why do you have to make it a free show? Why do you have to tell everyone that my father is sick? Why can't you just keep it a secret? He's going to get well soon. Why do you have to tell the world about it? And then later on, I see an ambulance, and then I see my dad. He was brought by a roller covered in all white, and I didn't understand what that was. I thought he was sleeping. My mind, that's how my mind worked. I didn't have the littlest thought in my mind that he died. I thought he was sleeping, and I was like, oh, is my father sleeping? He looked like an angel in that clothing. I swear, I never thought he died. I asked him, whoa, was he sleeping? And then I went near him. And then, of course, my cousins were like, your father passed away. They were sobbing, and then when I realized what had happened, my hands started shivering, I lost my voice, I became in a hysteric state. But then they asked to see my father for the last time. I went close by him, but then they told me to kiss his forehead. But my nerves, they couldn't even move. I couldn't even imagine he had just passed away right in front of my eyes. He was lying there dead, and I thought he was sleeping. How do I go and kiss someone I thought was sleeping? I regret to this day for not going by him and just kissing his forehead, because I never knew that was the last time I would meet him. And yes, that was the lowest point in life. 6 days after my father's death was my birthday. And that birthday, it was celebrated so well. I got so many gifts from my cousin, so many gifts from my auntie. But then I didn't even feel alive. I felt so numb. I was just 9 years old and just turned 10. And I imagine about my siblings. They don't even know what happened. Sometimes I feel like I'm lucky enough to be able to witness all his love and care towards me. But still, it's also a tragedy. You felt so much of him that when he's gone, you feel so empty. It feels like all hopes are gone. And each day, I saw my mom in such misery. And I realized all hopes are gone. I stopped trying. But then I realized not everything is gone. My mom is still here. How can I forget such a human being? She's also been with me. How can I forget her? And that's where I found another purpose to begin and another purpose to end. And so, we all have purposes. We have to find it. Even if one is lost, there are so many opportunities in this world. You have to find it. You have to try. You don't have to overthink about a future which you haven't even witnessed, or you can't grieve over the past which is already done. What you can do is change the present. What you're doing right now, right here. That's what you can do. That's all what you can do. You have to make an impact to change the present so that it could impact the future. That's what you can do. And of course, you have to try so hard, even if life is up and down. I agree with you. Sometimes you don't even feel like you have enough hope to restrain your motive back, but still, you have to try. Well, when you're trying, you don't have to be like, sorry, I don't want to do it right now. Maybe I'll do it a little later. I was watching TV. I was watching my favorite movie. And then I remembered that I had a homework to do today. I had a homework due tomorrow. And then I was like, no, I'll do it later. But as I was enjoying the movie, all I could think about was the homework. And I couldn't even enjoy the movie. And I didn't even complete my homework. Like, I didn't gain anything. I lost it. I didn't even get anything. I didn't gain anything from it. So I lost both sides. So stop procrastinating. That's the main reason you'll ever face downfall. You don't know what happens in the future. So why waiting? If you can do it right now, then do it right now. Right now. Always chase your dreams. Have dreams. Small, big, have dreams. Never stop trying. Always try hard. Fought for your life. Even if it's in the hardest situation. Please, never lose hope. Thank you.